Well, it's the end of the week, and we are now celebrating, let's count it up, week 26 of Droughtlander. And I have fantastic news about Droughtlander, and actually some great news about Blood in My Blood, too. But first, you ever have one of those days where people just irk you? Apparently, Claire and Jamie have those days, too. As seen by this image here. It's a great way to start the day, I figured. This is posted by Danielle. Danielle was having a rough time, apparently, with some fans who are not being very fan-like. So I'm just going to read this to give some context as to why she shared this fantastic image. There's no easier block for me than the jealous idiots in the fandom who insist on trying to pit one co-star against the other. And I'm not going to say this next part. Hey, vortexes of the rear. You know what Sam doesn't appreciate? Excrement from the rear, talking his best friend and the woman he ranked second most important in his life after his mom. So yeah, people not being very fangirl, fanish. We're just going to say they weren't being nice, and Danielle decided to show them how she feels. I appreciate and approve of this message. And since I seem to be doing rather silly pictures, I'm going to add one more. This one, of course, minus his lovely red locks, or, well, I guess they are his red locks, but wig. This one is posted by Beverly Galen. I think this is before they attach the wig, just protecting his hair. Which, you know what? Yeah, I didn't think they would be that thorough in balding him, but kind of makes sense unless something else is going on. I guess we'll have to wait for the second half of season 7 to find out. Speaking of which, I told my Patreons that I had an idea about what time season 7's second part would come out. You know what? I think I might have been wrong. I think it might be earlier. Because according to this article in thedirect.com, and I was pointed here by IMDb, it looks like a very real possibility that we could be seeing the second half of season 7 come this spring. And I'd originally read that it was going to be this summer. So I'm not going to say which one because these are all kind of guesses at this point. But it could be very soon. And the best part is we won't be waiting until winter to watch this. It's going to be sometime this spring or summer, which makes good sense because of when production begins. And if you read this article, it does say that season 7 aired from February to May 2020, but season 6 faced delays due to the pandemic, eventually starting in February 2021. Season 6 aired from March to May 2022, and season 7 production began in May of the same year. Looking ahead, season 8 is set to film from spring to October 2024, so we should expect the second part of season 7 to be aired close to the beginning of spring as season 8 begins filming. This is a really good hint and a really good clue. We still have no actual release date from Starz, but for those of us who are sitting on pins and needles waiting for that second part to start, this is great news. And it sure takes the worry out of having to wait for like another 10 months. And before I get to the other big piece of news on this video, I'm going to share one other bit of information. And that is going to be this post here, shared by Outlander Online. Graham McTavish will play a cult leader in the indie psychological thriller Dirty Boy from director Doug Rao, and the film has already wrapped according to Deadline. And this is a piece of an article by Deadline. I will make sure to include the rest of the link below, but what it says here is exclusive. Graham McTavish, House of the Dragon, hello, Outlander too, Stan Steinbilker, Zero Chill, Susie Porter, Gold, and Honor Gillies. The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes have wrapped production on Dirty Boy, an indie psychological thriller marked the first feature from writer-director Doug Rao. Hick centers on Isaac Steinbichler, a reclusive schizophrenic who discovers that he's been framed for a series of ritualistic murders and must prove his innocence by exposing a sinister cult and rescuing their next victim. McTavish and Porter portray the brutal cult leaders, with Gillies as troubled sect member Hope. So if you do like thrillers, this is going to be right up your alley. And I always do like to support the indie filmmakers, those who can't put, $500 million into a project. I'm almost always pleasantly surprised by the storylines of these films. So yeah, good indie film to check out. McTavish is in there. Kind of creepy, so we'll check out and see how that goes. Nice stretch of his acting chops, too. Now, for the big news this week, and I'm so annoyed that this got posted like 5 minutes after I shared the Monday update, But we do have some great news, some interesting news actually, about Blood of My Blood. Now, we know Blood of My Blood has begun filming, and this is post by Matthew B. Roberts, kind of enforcing that idea, we're aware. Feels like a bit of deja vu, but here we go. Blood of My Blood, Outlander. Outlander, in case you're wondering what I just said. And this is slate for take 1A. I mean, we're talking the very beginning of things getting started. So, fantastic. They are getting started on this new series. But even more interesting was Diana's post. Diana Gabaldon herself shares, and action. The Outlander prequel Blood of My Blood, aka Bob for short, is underway. Filming began on January 22nd, and I'm liking everything I'm seeing because, as we know, she gets a chance to look at the dailies with episode 101. And here is a quick look at 4 main characters. And this is the big news right here. First, we have Ellen McKenzie, played by Harriet Slater, Brian Fraser, played by Jamie Roy, and oh my goodness, who else is in our story that we are really surprised to hear is in our story? Julia Morriston, played by Hermione Corfield, and Henry Beecham, played by Jeremy Irvine. So yes, we've got not just Jamie's past being discussed here, but Claire's past as well. And you know the way storytelling goes for Outlander, somehow these stories, they're going to have to tie together. There is some thought that maybe there's some time traveling going on before Claire goes through those rocks. And Bevan Boulder apparently had a little discussion with Diana concerning Claire's parents. I'm not going to go into it, but she had an interesting thought. So it's very surprising, yet very intriguing to see that there are both pairs of parents going to be involved in this new series. And while we will definitely miss our leading man, Sam, in this new series, people have already jumped on a bandwagon concerning his dad. And so first, I'm going to show you this post by one of my favorites, Batgirl. Actor Jamie Roy will portray Brian Fraser on Blood of My Blood. Welcome to the Outlander family. And of course, we always welcome our new actors. But yeah, you can see there is a slight resemblance. You could see that he would be Jamie's father, the same as you could see Charles as Jamie's son. There is just enough there to go, oh yeah, okay. And the same for Claire's mother as well. I'm going to hand it to their casting, as always, very on point. But it's not just that they look alike, it's that the female or the Fraser men seems to carry on. As Dag Sheeny here says, I've got a thing for Jamie's dad. Help. Okay, I don't disagree. He's an attractive young man, but we've got Jamie, so I'm good. It's going to be as much of a challenge as we thought it was going to be to find someone attractive enough to take Sam's place. I think, again, the casting was right, and they did a good job of finding someone who is also quite attractive, and yet still very much looks like he could be related to Jamie in some way. Father in this case. But I'll judge his adorableness with his clothes on. Just, the shirtless photos, it throws off one's perceptions. And believe it or not, that's kind of all I have this week. It was big news, so yeah, I don't really need a lot of padding. I'm going to save anything else I find for Monday because it's not going to top. We might be getting Outlander this spring, nor is it going to top the release of Claire's parents being in Blood of My Blood as well. Just big news right there. And so I leave you with this. My fundraiser is still stuck at $370. I've not had any donations this week. Do hope that'll change over the weekend. If you feel like helping me out with donations, I'm now trying to get shirts and hats for volunteers, people who would like to help out at our booth. Please go ahead and check the GoFundMe below. You can see now I've got my sister and my daughter both coming. Yeah, so assistance has gone up and my donations are lean. So I'm going to have to do some fun economic work here, trying to make sure that I can actually get us all food and a room for 3 days. So if you'd like to help, this is a great time. If you don't mind spreading the word about my GoFundMe, that would be fantastic as well. Again, this is for a Star Trek show, not an Outlander show, but I'm not picky. I will take help wherever I can get it. And I do appreciate your support. Speaking of support, this is a great time to once again thank my patrons and my members. I do hope that you found some fun getting this news earlier in the week, because I do appreciate your continued support. And if you're here for the first time, thanks so much for joining us. If you'd like more content and updates about Outlander and now Blood of My Blood as it comes and as I can share it, please subscribe, like my video so I know you like this type of content, and always feel free to comment below. I usually have something to say back, or I'll at least give you a thumbs up for taking the time to comment. And if you just did not get enough Outlander content with this video, please check out any of my Outlander updates, and I will see you there. Hey, bumholes, you know what Sam doesn't appreciate? People not being very fanny. So, wait, that's not nice in England, is it? Because according to this article, oh, not this article, is it? No, hold on, where'd it go?